Finally, I have cracked the case. I have talked about social media blackout, and I now kind of understand what it is. So, let me just read this and then I will explain. Alright, my cupcake. One thing that tells me that this will happen. Well, basically, it's gonna be bad for a lot of people. But a lot of people don't actually deserve to be on the internet. That's the whole blackout idea. To take internet away from them. So they don't hurt themselves anymore and they start touching grass. They stop playing games and bullshit like that. Because they're not active enough, basically. They just don't deserve many privileges that they would otherwise get if they express themselves, if they learn how to socialize and all these things. We don't want to lose these values, right? So that's the blackout. Once users will be rewarded for being active online, the inactive users will be left out because active ones will get ridiculous benefits for serving the platform. Whatever platform this might be, whatever community this might be, this will be the darkness of the internet, the night cycle, basically. When most of the resources just are gone, are unavailable, unless you have been really taking care of them, really harvesting and keeping them close. It will be quite a challenge. And now there's reasons to believe that this is going to happen eventually. Just like most of the things I'm talking about, the identities that I'm taking care of, the little button clicker thing will become more and more real. All these little things, tiny things that I am in control of, that people take for granted and breed ignorance all around. We have to move to second generation YouTube. There's limited amount of time, TikTok is pretty invasive in general. The only thing that could stop it is that it's too invasive and we have to actually ban it worldwide, actually. If it's banned in America, then no more content for the rest of the world and it's game over. I don't think that will happen, but, it's a possibility. For serving the platform and each other. Alright, so, being able to recognize what society is, you'll recognize that a lot of people are not invited into society, which is kids, immoral people, and people who cannot define or understand how society works. We have to normalize a lot of what happened throughout the years. It's the only way we're gonna find peace and happiness. There's a lot of inequality in the world. This thing has so many reasons to happen. I have nothing to tell you guys besides we must fight for this to happen. Because this might not happen simply because I choose not, or someone else chooses not to, or creates walls and captures the sun and just keeps the sun at the perpetual place, and it just burns the entire world. It's not how the world works. We need cycles of all kinds. And very likely, a lot of the features will be stolen from inactive users as well. Because they just don't know what to do, where to go, where to start. They have so many choices. What's the point? Fucking play Tetris. Figure out how to play Tetris first. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of more concentrated resources that way. When you actually belong in communities that actually work properly as well, to some extent. I mean, once you transcend into the next level, you get more features or more things to care about. But if social media blackout does happen, that also means everything you do right now on the internet matters significantly, specifically to you. Every single photo you fucking copy and paste to yourself, everything you fucking save, everything you put into your brain, into your heart, you are your own storage. Your computer is your storage. Alright? Open up a Discord. That's going to be a big storage unit as well. You have to start collecting things and storing things, because they might just be gone and away from you. However, if you store enough things, you're just gonna prove that you're an active user, and probably nothing's gonna happen to you specifically. But you might just need that proof, alright? And proof doesn't hurt, it really helps. In the end, if people start questioning things, once you offload a little bit of proof, you're already above average. Just have an avatar, have uploaded a video on the internet. Not necessarily through your phone. And I could do that. I don't even have a phone that I use. I use a tablet. Go figure. Alright, go figure why I didn't make TikToks yet. Also, I'm ugly, so TikTok hates ugly people. We have to remember that. I could use a filter to spread my truth. So here's the kick example. If you're not convinced yet, if porn industries wanted to only show porn to people with money, they would show it now only to active people. They would have the ability to actually filter people out. Imagine that. And influence specific type of people. Alright. Now, why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you just want to spread your awareness to everyone? Immoral people gonna rip you off, and give you nothing in return. In a way. You're just feeding a lot of immoral people for no reason. And immorality's on the rise as well. Imagine what happened with OnlyFans. Alright? There's a tiny bit, bitsy barrier between you and your waifu, you know? A girl, you want to see some, things that she has apparently for money. It's crazy. And people are willing to spend money. So if you just allow people to spend money, they probably will. And if you put on barriers around and you figure out how to do that properly, we will not be able to escape that anymore. Alright, the barriers will start manifesting everywhere. Because all of a sudden it actually allows those rich people to offload their money and settle down finally. You know, because they're insane. They're too rich for their own good. And for me, a person with a lot of values and effort put into understanding everything, I will be highlighted as a person who can walk through walls with ease, because I help every single community when I do that. However, this has not been yet highlighted. I'm still a low-tier influencer that nobody recognizes. So it's not the best time to do the blackout. I still can improve a little bit more, but I am eager to see what happens. This is my time to shine, basically. This is my time to shine, and I will fight whatever it takes to make that happen. Game over, boys. So, introduction is over. We need to dive a lot deeper than this, because now that we open the can of worms, we gotta fucking count them and taste them and all the good stuff. So let's figure out why social media blackout is gold. Because it feels so good. It's a great ass definition. It's gold. It's happening. It's better than Web3 or whatever people were onto. Whatever drug people were using back in the day. So, no more distractions. Now we get serious. Oh boy. This is some crazy stuff, bro. This is crazy. This changes everything. Being aware of this, I mean, you better watch this video. You better be aware what you're gonna be dealing with. And it's not like the Shadow Realm is taking over. It's like everyone is like eager to test their abilities. And we're gonna dim the lights. We're gonna dim the ability to get everything for free, whatever you want, and be very much confused. You have to appreciate what you have. The gold shines brighter in the dark, I guess. Well, the light shines brighter in the dark. And the dark people will just, have to spectate in the end. Again, it just really filters out very well who is immoral, who doesn't actually have friends or ability to make friends. Because in the light, every single abusive person, and this is very interesting, in the light, every abusive person is able to make friends in other relationships. So, this is why I hate dating game. Abusive people win. Toxic people win. People who have absolutely no moral anchors, basically. No moral anchors to stop them from doing stupid shit, basically. They just go all in. And they win. They impress other people. It's like, oh, look how courageous this guy is. No, he's stupid. People don't do that. Unless they're stupid. Alright? They are exploring and doing something impressive, but they're also doing something very abusive at the same time. Alright? Most people don't have abilities that they do because they went all in. They show their poker hand. They play poker to begin with. They made plenty of choices, basically, to approach the solution this way. And now, because that happened, and once abusive people get rewarded, they multiply. Abusive strategies are flourishing right now, and is actually choking humanity quite a bit. It's not gonna work. It's not supposed to work. There's something wrong. And that something wrong is that we live in daylight. We get to do whatever we want. Because there's really no concern right now. So we have to understand what this is. Because even I'm confused. What is daylight? Why do we live in daylight? The first step to understand daylight, it's easy to make any kind of move when you see where you're going. So because everything is identified for you, everything is lit up for you, you don't really have to worry about where to go next. You just see a shiny thing, you see a thing that makes you feel good, and you get attracted to it. Alright? And abusive people know this very well, so they become those shiny things. There are consequences to that. There is a little bit of a, karmic consequence for attracting a lot of people and not actually being able to handle that shit. Even daylight is not necessarily the most nastiest times where only roaches get to multiply, basically, and immoral people get to multiply. Here's why. Because I figured out, I figured out that in daylight, I get to observe anything I want. And observation is actually much more powerful than actually taking action. It's quite fascinating. Because experience is not that different if you do it, someone else does it. just be happy for other people's success, and you'll get most of that experience yourself. Basically, morality has its own place, but in daylight, it's weirdly enough not the time to make moves. It's time to just walk around and observe, as if you're playing a very slow game or just going outside and for a walk. Just to observe. In case there's danger, you don't go outside. And do something, read a book, basically. Oh, wait. We don't use books anymore. We have plenty of things to do inside. So many, in fact, that we don't even have to go outside. I literally have no reason to go outside. Like, zero. There's none. Back in the day, like, yeah, I get to interact with kids my age and stuff like that. And play. There is reason. You don't want to be stuck in four walls, not knowing what to do. It's really, really draining, I would say. Because, yeah, like, you have to avoid boredom. We talked about it. But now, with every cycle comes that, big-ass change. That has to happen. And it's very scary because, after the blackout happens, it will just stay that way. It will now be the night cycle. And a lot of people realize, oh, there are cycles, and this is pretty interesting. And we only just have to wait, but we'll have to wait for like 15 years or something. Some incredible amount. We got a lot of values. We have to keep collecting, because I think the sun is very much setting. And we actually have to pick up some more clues in case it is happening. Obviously, no one is going to talk about something like this unless they're geniuses like myself. It would be weird if someone is smarter than me and went ahead. Social media blackout. What? What? Taylor Swift? That's interesting. She deletes her social media at some point. Alright, so let's scoop this up. It's annoying still that YouTube likes to serve very short content to me, specifically. Like, do you even understand YouTube? But, well, I'm scooping, so I guess it works.
Owned by Facebook and...
Like, imagine, right? You have to take this very seriously. How would people react in this situation? Because a lot of people are addicted, and it's very serious stuff. It's very serious to understand how addicted people are. I don't know, man. I wanted to say something smart, but, like, all I said is just, like, they're addicted, and, like, everyone knows that. We don't really have good solutions to this stuff. The best stuff is on social media. But you don't understand the extent of addiction until you understand the effect of only consuming and not providing. Alright? If people are just consumers, society suffers tremendously. So we have to unpack this thing as well. What happens There's too many consumers of content and not that many providers. First of all, I'm not a consumer, but I know if I get balls deep into something, it steals my soul. Alright, I don't want to stay in one place. It will get boring eventually. Yes, some people want to figure it out and be masters and flex a little bit and get some kind of status or whatever. They have delusions, basically. Alright? This is all just a delusion. It's possible to become a master in something, but you must be able to actually express yourself and get other skills, other variety of skills. Whenever you become a game developer, you very quickly realize just building a game, however complex it is, it requires music, it requires very slick programming for you to even be able to wrap your head around. It requires a lot of experience so you quickly fix every single bug that you encounter. Alright? So, it is pain realizing how much effort you have to put into programming to become good at it. The only question left is it worth it? And you will realize a little bit too late that it wasn't worth it whatsoever. Most people, when they become creators, will realize that over-investing isn't worth it. When I say over-investing, like, oh, of course, it's a bad word. It's not worth doing the bad thing. But a lot of people are over-investing into something that is just not going to pay off. Unless you are recruited to do a job, then you know it's going to pay off because it will literally give you money that allows you to do anything. Allows you access to goods and services right now. We don't know if money will want to stay the same way as it is right now. Alright? And probably the social media blackout is going to happen before we change the monetary system, because we will need to do that too. Alright? Social media has to have its own token system of some kind. And again, it will the nighttime will definitely show who was prepared, who is comfortable living in darkness, all these things. Shadow people are definitely, waiting for this to happen. There's not a lot of them. Alright, nobody wants to live in shadows. And, usually people are curious enough not to let people go into the shadow world. But right now, it's not the case. Alright? Shadow Realm is bigger than ever because people have too much freedom. Meaning they also have freedom to be silent and ignorant towards loved ones. Alright, towards people who are somewhat close, but you contemplated whether they deserve your attention or not. And because you have so many choices, you're thinking to yourself, no, I have a lot of resources. I don't have to worry about some random person that I could worry about, but I will not. All you have to do is offload your reasons and move on. But if you're silent and ignorant, you did not properly bounced off, falling off a cliff eventually. You did not bounce. You did not turn around. You did not make the turn. You kept going forward. Just because you made a different choice, that doesn't mean you turned the wheel, alright? You have to speak to your brain and reason with it, and actually force your brain to move the wheel. Like, this is important. And a lot of people just crash and burn that way. They get infinite respawns in lives, and they don't feel like they did a lot of damage to their life, but it happened, and I get to observe that, and it's very scary stuff, because again they have infinite respawns, an ability to just reset their mind every time they wake up. It's a new day, my mind is clean, I can do a new adventure basically. So whatever they did is kind of fading away, all the mistakes that they did. But if you just allow your mistakes to just pollute your past life, every structure you build will fall down. Because your ambitions keep rising, alright? And you will try your best, make it a reality. But sometimes, in order to make it a reality, will hurt a lot of people who, when they see your structure succeeding, they will just smash it down. And you'll fail again. For overinvesting and underappreciating everything else. Sometimes overinvesting happens simply because you are ripping off resources that are not rightfully yours. You're ripping off resources through your silence and ignorance towards everyone around you that would be very willing to help you out. Alright? If you're rejecting people who want to help you, they will destroy you. They will come back to destroy you. Because, I could have helped you, but now I don't feel like it. I don't feel like, letting you just have whatever you have right now. Because it could have been so much better. So I came to press a reset button. Destroy everything you have created. Because it looks like garbage. Alright, from my perspective, I still care, I still come back after a few years. And I'm like, well, I don't like where this is going. So let me just destroy it. It's still gonna be helpful, unfortunately. And a lot of people deserve it. A lot of people's lives gonna be destroyed after social media blackout, because a lot of realization is just gonna ripple throughout the world. Alright, just huge realizations of how reality truly works and how, karma works in the end. Oh, oops. You will realize how karma truly works. Definition of karma is pretty fascinating, right? You do something, it accumulates, and then you get a result, basically, your grade. You just have to figure out, when are you really gonna receive your goddamn grade? Alright? When you're gonna truly understand what is the impact of all the actions that you have accumulated. This will only happen when you stop being ignorant and silent, when you stop being immoral. Karma only hits when you stop being abusive and immoral. I have to shove ignorance all the time. It only hits. Why does it only hit? Because it only hits when you're stranded, when you run out of fuel. Alright, when you're in the middle of nowhere and you just ran out of resources. And it was the biggest mistake of your life that just kind of accumulated. Alright? People told you to do bad decisions because you were doing bad decisions the whole fucking time. You were addicted to that. So someone just told you, do this, and you got stranded in the middle of nowhere. Just like that. You did something incredibly stupid. You abused yourself. You ignored warning signs. And, well, immorality just covers everything. Alright? Because, you probably don't know how to solve this problem. You got yourself into a very serious risk that you didn't prepare yourself for, did you? So, now that I'm putting all this effort, and it's like very important stuff, you know. If I didn't put all this effort, I wouldn't feel like I am saving the world before this happens. Honestly, like, this is just groundbreaking work. And I don't need compliments, because I don't get them whatsoever. I guess I don't need them. Alright? It's not gonna help anymore. It's a little bit too late. It's gonna be a cheeky moment. You know, it's like, wow, you did it. You figure out how to compliment a dude that never gets a compliment. I really don't remember the time I got a compliment. Okay? Maybe from the Pikachu dude. Who I don't respect anymore, so... But it is what it is. I didn't, unfortunately. I only come out to the light just apparently to scare people and make people feel bad. Because they're all abusers. They're just terrible people right now. They're addicted to this light that they have. And they think that it will last forever. That this is how life works. It is amazing to see that. Let's continue. This is not necessarily the fuss round, because there's not a lot of stuff to scoop. I'm definitely curious about Taylor Swift stuff, but, you know. Very interesting. How would people react to this? How will they try and solve their addictions? When will they run out of fuel to keep themselves sane? Because, let's think about sanity for a little bit, right? What about sanity? If you didn't rush towards attractive things, you still have some, alright? You still have some sanity left. It's very complicated to even just look at things and to appreciate for what they are. Just smell some flowers of the internet. Touching grass, the definition of touching grass, just touching grass, is the idea of taking free things that are available to you. Alright? Touching grass is not going to offend anyone. You touch something that's abundant all across the world. You touched it. Alright? But for me, it's the idea that you have all these things available on the internet right now, and touching it, what does that mean? Does that all of a sudden means that you have to own grass and store it on your computer? Eventually, yes. If you like touching grass, you might want to bring some grass to home. Unfortunately. And might even be able to grow some of it too, and realize that there's just different kinds of grass. Potentially different kinds of plants, and fruits and vegetables and all the good stuff that internet just kind of gives you for free. Alright, the wilderness of internet looks exactly like the real world. Alright, and just like the real world, eventually it goes into the darkness, into the night mode, where you can't see shit. You cannot identify shit anymore. You just have what you have. Alright? You're completely blind, but you know, like, I have this apple over here, and I have this banana over there, and I will survive the night. It's fine. But in this case, because the night will last longer, it's not exactly gonna feel like the night. Just like you're not being blinded by the light all the time either. Because it's very difficult to identify what actually is going on until the opposite happens. So you have to keep sanity all the time. It's just the strategy of the way you're gonna keep sanity is gonna change. And that is scary to me, because I kind of had to live through the insane lifestyle of not just observing, but actually having to take action. It's hard enough to visit your friends in need, especially with the threat of them being abusers. Well, let's keep it that way. Imagine fearing if people you can care about may hurt you regardless. You know. So you have to walk still with a lot of fear that it's not the time yet, you know. It's the nighttime and everyone is panicking. It's probably not the time to start helping everyone, unfortunately. Even when social media blackout does happen, or slowly fades into darkness, and all the things that you thought you have access to will shut down, it's not the time to help people. If you have sanity, you will not panic, and you will not just go to try and save every single person that you are friends with to some extent, right? You have to have this, honestly. You have to have my list of things and prioritize. That is the whole fucking point. And realizing that this is actually ridiculously useful, which it is useful because I use it every day and I'm addicted to that shit for a good reason, because I created it and I appreciate it so much. And if I can create something that I use every day, like, that is the most genius move you can ever make. Let's define. Genius move is to give yourself something you will be using every day. Alright. That is pretty crazy stuff. That I was able to create it, and I'm just like very happy with it. And I don't need other people to actually need this to exist. You know, most importantly, I need it for myself. And that's why I'm a winner in that situation. I need it for myself and I use it every day. So no one can debunk that this is useless. Or this is somehow not popular enough for them. Or not good enough in some kind of way. What are you talking about, bro? One person is still an army if it's undefeated. Unfortunately. If you send an entire army and that person is still left undefeated, what happened? You know, just because it's just one person doesn't mean it's not gonna kick your fucking ass. All right, with how prepared it is and the genius items that it does in fact have. It's like it's just one person. Your weapons suck. The things you have suck. I don't need that. I need things that are widely available and everyone's obsessed with. That's cute. You just don't know what Shadow Realm is capable of, unfortunately. Alright. Things that I have, looking like this, well, other people have similar things potentially. I hope. I really hope. It's very unlikely, but it's still possible. A lot of people are prepared for this thing to happen. They just don't know it yet. They just need this kind of video to pop out a little bit and make other people ready as well. It's going to be very fascinating. All right, this is also coming out after a little bit of a spike on my data. So apparently people like watching Andrew Tate getting psychoanalyzed. You see the spike. This is Andrew Tate blowing up a little bit. Also got a significant amount of watch time as well. So we're gonna burn ignorance. Thank God for that. 1212. But it's probably... I'm not sure if it's gonna get awards. Maybe I will be able to get out of the realm of ignorance somehow. However, there's another layer of ignorance that's gonna happen. What is that? Despite getting watch time, I will still not get positive feedback. I will just get criticism and negative feedback. Is it gonna help me? To some extent, yes. But it's just gonna be tiring at some point, and it will feel like ignorance anyways. Because you've decided to make a comment, and it's garbage, potentially. Right? So, that's the second layer I'm anticipating to happen. Despite getting watch time, I will still get nasty comments that just waste my time to some extent. But because I have to counter everything, I'll appreciate it. I just don't think it's gonna, tease me for too long. Alright, eventually I will figure it out. And the comments will start being repetitive and boring. And it's scary to think about it, but everything goes through the same cycle. Right now, I'm glad that I'm getting anything whatsoever, which is not the case. I'm getting nothing whatsoever. Just because I get views, I don't actually get any comments, which is very fascinating to me. I don't think I even get the proper one comment for 100 views type of thing. Which, I understand most people need to become comfortable to write comments, and that's actually quite a clue, right? Most people need to be comfortable to engage in society, something like that, or to I don't know, man. I want to use the word engagement. To manifest engagement is a very weird way to say it. But that's kind of the idea, you're only gonna engage if you're comfortable. If you have watched a channel for a long time and you're like, oh, I know this guy, I understand this guy now. I have been following this guy for a long time. Congratulations. And most importantly, well, it will be a lot more important to engage, because it will have you will be rewarded quick. I don't know. Like, you must understand, like, if I move along and do the thing that I have to do, and another thing, as YouTube CEO, my most important principle as YouTube CEO, I must enforce people to claim their sanity back. They will need a lot of sanity simply because there's going to be changes in how life works. So before social media blackout happens, I have the ability to become true YouTube CEO and just, give people a safe space that they will surely need. Alright, so I have to work very hard because I'm not sure how much time I have left, but we still have time. Alright, people are still stupid and ignorant. They will not figure out how to make social media great all of a sudden. And by making it great, it will be very different. It will have to go through a lot of changes. And even just the introduction of TikTok is a big change to society. So you must understand, stuff like TikTok can pop up anytime. A new social media site that just has everything figured out. Or a new YouTube upgrade. Stuff like that can happen. And you have to be prepared for it, because it can, create a domino chain where slowly people start to figure out that I have to change my website, I have to integrate this sort of new technology into my website, or my website is becoming irrelevant, so I have to shut it down and just move on onto this new project that I have. People are going to be changing their minds left and right. Will be knocked out. With the help of AI, everyone can be empowered to create their own valid, technology on the internet. It doesn't have to be a website. It can just be an application, as you know. As you know, it's just an application. And it will get a lot more advanced, potentially, once I figure out what my next move is. But for now, I'm happy. I could start invading gaming market simply by creating a weird type of card game that still has this kind of base. I don't know. A lot of things are possible. Alright. Just entertain yourself while you're doing nothing. I would create a card game that would be able to outcompete all these card games that I've played so far, simply because I know how these card games work and what they offer to the player, myself, basically, and I will be able to, outcompete them, despite this still being offline experience in the end. Alright, because other players do not really offer that much besides exploration, but you get to explore if you just randomize content a little bit, and that's it. Randomize content and the way the card game works, Probably my next move could be making a card game. Another move I want to make is, I kinda need to organize photos faster. Alright. A lot faster, to be able to rename them really fast. But the only name that I really need to do is potentially attach a card to the photo so it has some kind of cool identity. Or a mix of cards, a mix of elements. I don't care. So it creates some kind of special name. I don't know. What photos I talking about? Just just girls. Just the goddamn girl photos. But it now implies a lot more than I thought. Because I have created this thing. A special thing called emotes and vibes. The word vibe to me just became ridiculously important over time. It just spiked. Yeah, if you look at how many times I use the word vibe, like it definitely kept rising as exponentially, and I think I reached my peak. So all these emotes basically super useful potentially for all kinds of conversational moments. I can't wait to find the use. Maybe you can make cards out of that. I don't know. I don't know what's possible. I just love the idea of possibilities and collecting things to prepare myself for what I could be doing in the future. It's just fascinating to me. All right, so not just erotic photos anymore. I want other people to experience a similar thing to what I have. You know, instead of just doing this as if I'm changing my personality, I could introduce a face, a flash of face, and it will stick to in their memory. Will completely change the game, basically. Of how I make a person feel. You know, it means a lot to be able to just drop an emo that actually matters to me, because I'm attached to them girls, you know, the celebrity juice, basically. They know what they're doing, they know they have to be clean and supportive of everyone's dream worlds, basically. They cannot offend anyone. It's the way of a popular kid, okay? And I have to appreciate that shit. But enough about me, right? Let's continue with the story of the blackout. I'm just kind of flexing that I am prepared for this stuff to an enormous extent. Like, it's unbelievable how prepared I am. It's unbelievable. It's like a fucking Disney World that you never really experienced because you never really fucking tried or been aware of, because I just had no opportunities. Alright? It pisses me off that people like myself are screwed and left without opportunities. You know, if I'm not attractive enough, if I can only just walk and observe, people just gonna treat me that way as if I'm a boring person. Like, or unidentifiable object because I care about too many things. So I'm not actually contributing whatsoever. If I'm not going all in, like they do. You know, they can't recognize this kind of behavior whatsoever. And it pisses me off. And also, they don't care. They just want their fucking share of things. They want to think about themselves all the time. They don't understand what actually works and what doesn't work. Alright, and by the time they will understand it, it's still gonna be pathetic. When they change their behavior, when they try to fix things. Because, as I've said, you rejected my help, and now I'm here to destroy you. Now I have declared war. It's too late. You pissed me off for too much. You screwed over and took my opportunities away. And I can't just let that slide. You have to recover from falling down the stairs. Alright? You have to heal your injuries when you realize how crippled of a person you suddenly are for offending a lot of people and stealing stuff from them. You know, there's inherent rights as a human being. You're not supposed to be hurt too much in society. But oh well. If I don't have opportunities, I can't fix my life. If I cannot talk to anyone, there are no opportunities. It's just that simple. So if there's something wrong with my life, and it becomes like this perpetual cycle, well, people will try to as best to ignore me, as if I will just be in this perpetual cycle forever and will destroy myself. And it's like the choking hazard, basically. Like, what are these guys fucking doing, right? So whatever I do, I just don't get a single compliment. People don't care. People just question my existence, one way or the other, or just dislike me in general. And no one really resonates the way that I want them to act, to behave. You know, golden rule kind of implies that people will match your energy, but they don't. You know, and that is the greatest immoral thing of all time. If you do not match energy, and it's so easy to do, all right, and easy to understand what is going on when, you know, I'm talking to my classmates, right, and there's like still 4 of them right here, and I'm gonna type to them as well. The same thing, probably. Golden rule kind of implies that people will match your energy, but they don't. And you guys decided to do the same. You know. Why are these people not willing to match their energy? Because they feel like they're not gonna get rewarded for it. You know, they're only gonna get rewarded for chasing things that are very attractive. But, you know, now more than ever, it's very easy to understand that attractive things are scams. Everything is a scam. Everything is bullshit. I'm just looking at it and it's like I can identify almost everything to be bullshit, straight up. So I don't chase anything because I know the closer I get to something, it just withers away as if it never existed, as if it's some kind of illusion, you know. Because it's like, oh, you come closer to me, you like me. What do I do now? I'm not prepared. I was trying to scam you the whole time. What do you want from me? I don't like love. Love is for losers. And they will slowly just wither away and restart their scam. Alright, somewhere else. Because, like, okay, you got me. That's fine. I'm a normal person. I can just restart my life. And there's all sorts of normal people, so you will not be able to see a difference if I just move somewhere else. And that's it. That is it. They just run and hide. No problems there. Restart their scams. And that's what happened with my classmates too. It's just like, I didn't even expect that to be a scam. I'm just like, I have a few concerns before we do this. And it evaporated. Everyone just melted away. Yeah. All I did is I said, I have a few concerns. Can we fix this? Oh, oops. You know, it's just so fucking frustrating to see this shit happen over and over again. Every time I voice some concerns, the shit I care about withers away. And it breaks my fucking heart in the end. It's like, well, that was beautiful while it lasted. I guess I will try to make sure that I appear in the end game and not some middle game, because I can ruin a lot of things that way. But I'll try my best, I guess. Maybe I'll try to indicate that the end is coming soon, because now I'm aware that of your little plans, and I came closer to you to ask a question. The moment you ask a question, just explosions and poof. You know? It's almost like touching a shadow clone. It's like everyone knows how to create shadow clones, but you poke them with the needle and they disappear. And it's like, wow. And everyone's like confused, like, oh, what happened? What have you done? You killed a person, I think. Like, some weird shit. They start coming up with excuses that they actually liked when that shadow clone, the fake thing, was manifesting in their lives. You know, I'm just like, it's fake. You don't need this. Especially when it leeches off values and you're attached to the fake thing. Like watching anime, you just attached to the anime girls or whatever. They're kind of fake. They have personalities and everything, but in the end, they're fucking fake. So you have to find the real stuff. Alright? And even sometimes touching grass and looking for real people in the real world is still gonna leave you with fake shit in the end, because people don't want to actually interact with you every single time. It takes a lot of effort to go outside and meet someone. So you're left with a lot of fake shit that looks real in the end, because you only appreciate the moments when you're with someone, but you can't actually appreciate the moments when you're alone. And it's just so stupid in the end. Alright? There's a lot of strategies in life that just don't fucking work. So welcome, guys, to hour number 2. I mean, I love this stuff. This really, really changes my perspective yet again. And I can't stop putting up videos like that. It's unbelievable to me how transcendental this stuff is. You know, to be able to see the upcoming darkness and appreciate it. Appreciate it, because everyone needs that shit. Just like a smelly person needs a fucking shower. A smelly person after a long day of work. You just give a person what they need, and they will become a better person. You don't run away from a smelly person. Like, what is that for a solution, dude? Oh, they can do it themselves. Well, lend them a hand, then you can back off if you don't like it. I tend to ignore, like, bad things that do not really hurt me. Alright? So if something feels bad, but doesn't actually is bad or damaging, I don't care, really. I can deal with bad emotions anytime. Alright? If something feels bad, I probably can still have it and deal with it. Alright? And that's the most important, principle of problem solving to begin with. Alright. So we have to also translate it into our rule book, into a principle. Number 8, 80. Even if something feels bad, wait, how do I put this together, though? Why am I confused to begin with? Here's how I would put it. It's probably still worth having it if it's cheap. Alright, so you don't like broccoli? Maybe you can have it if it's cheap. If nobody wants it, maybe it's cheap enough so you can just buy a bunch. Maybe it's worth, saving a little bit of money sometimes. I don't know. Eating apples, very cheap stuff, saves a lot of money. And instead of buying chips, it's terrifyingly annoying to see people buy alcohol and chips as if it's actually going to make their lives better. Having money is a pretty good thing to do. All right, especially in the forms of inflation, where you're going to be sucked into bad behaviors in the first place and unable to help other people and invest into their lives to just save them another day and they might solve their problems, basically. You know, you have to indicate if that opportunity is open to just spend a little bit of money and you're going to get a friend for life. You know, like all these, you're going to be able to offload a lot of advice and see someone change their life, to test your advice, basically. All this stuff is going to be available to you eventually, potentially. I mean, why not? Why not? All right. That's some. Why not? Principle. Also exciting. Allowing things to happen that wanted to happen for a long time. That's the why not principle. It's like, yeah. Which allows me to figure out that, blackout is happening eventually. Because why not? If it has enough reasons to exist, it probably will exist. We just have to, fart a little bit harder and let people know what's about to happen, We have to do the summoning ritual, basically, and keep those reasons. Because just like with another principle as well, of manifestation principle, alright? Manifestation principle, the longer you hold on to something, the more real it is. Alright, so now it's just the start of the journey to understand a social media blackout. I hold on to this idea, and it was very a curious idea until it just manifested into a video like this. It is fascinating to be able to do this. Very good feelings in that sense. It's unbelievably annoying that I have to do gold mining, and I can't even sell gold because that's illegal, boys. Nobody wants to buy your gold. Everyone's throwing shit at each other, basically, and feeling good about themselves. Throwing bullshit at each other, creating scams that look good, but are not good in the end. And this all of a sudden just like, what was the point? Right? But just people are so clueless, they're just wasting, their hopes and dreams, chasing things that, once you figure out how to catch the thing, you're almost there at figuring out that everything is a scam. But most of the time, what happens, bullshit doesn't want to be identified as such, and will have proper defenses for that. Shit. I misspelled defenses? Why is it not spelled with the S? So annoying. The defense, yeah. The fence. What a wonderful thing. It kind of makes sense, but it's like, what is the D thing? The fence, man. Whatever, bro. I might even invent a lot of new words by making the card game. But that's for the future, man. It might not even happen this half year. Because I'm focused on just cleaning the work that I've done. That's hard enough, bro. I'm sitting 18 days deep, and I only made one cleaning episode about like 20 thumbnails or something. Let me look into this. This is hilarious. So I'm right here. And these are 50 thumbnails. And I'm 18 days deep. 50, what the fuck, bro? I hope it will accelerate, but like, what? And I still haven't actually solved it. I probably will need 18 more days too to solve those 50 thumbnails, because I keep generating new ideas too on top of that. That I have to execute before I move to the next video. It's fucking hilarious. Anyways. A bunch of bullshit. Now, why is everyone so obsessed with making bullshit? It's just so annoying, right? And at the same time, finally, rejoice. The solution to all bullshit isn't that crazy? Finally, I am tasting a solution to all bullshit. Creating a light switch, basically, in the world. A very much needed light switch. Well, not in the world, in the alternative world. Because we have created light for ourselves. And we have interrupted our normal cycles of life that we adopted from sun and the moon. That is fine if that was intentional and you are more productive that way. You know, because now a lot of things happen despite there being daylight or nighttime. Alright, you must understand. We don't care about actual day and night. Technically, it's almost like the green light and red light adventure, basically. I think the blackout is not going to last too long. It's just going to introduce a new thing. You know, it's just going to be the new expansion, but it will last to weed out a lot of bullshit. Once we realize we have gotten rid of most of the bullshit, we can turn on the light, but now we will have cycles of light, day and night cycles, just like we have in real world. We just realized slowly internet needs that. This alternate reality that we have created has to be aligned with the values that we already have. You know, the principles that reality has to begin with. It's frustrating, but let's continue. We don't care about day and night because we have light. Too much light. Alright. Whenever we want, we just turn on a lamp and we just sit there and do things. And on top of that, plus a lot of things happen while we sleep. So it doesn't matter when we sleep. You know, so you wake up and a lot of things are still happening and you can still do a lot of things regardless it's day or night time. You know, it's just like if it's daytime, you have the additional option to go outside. But that's it. Alright? It doesn't matter anymore. And people should follow this principle. In a way, it's a principle, alright, as well. Yes, people should stop worrying when to sleep if they can afford it. Alright, immediately when to sleep, how long to sleep, just forget about all that bullshit. Destroy your alarm clocks, you don't need that shit anymore. Alright? Game over. It really helps to clear your mind a little bit. Because, it's not the sleep that you need, it's to make sure that you don't worry about your goddamn sleep. That it doesn't haunt you every single time you have to do it, you don't want to do it. Or you feel uncomfortable. Whatever makes you comfortable, you go with that and forget about the problems. So now a lot of people are suffering right now with the sleep problems, and all this shit should go away. Because, well, if it's perpetual daytime, you will not really know when to sleep, how to sleep. None of this makes any sense anymore. So it's very, very crazy stuff. Now you would ask, what about a quarter of the year, certain places of Earth are in complete darkness all the time? What about that? Are you gonna make a metaphor about that? Fuck those places, dude. I don't give a fuck. Especially when it's Arctic and Antarctic, mostly. Fucking Iceland. It's probably made out of ice. I don't want to go there, guys. Anyways, where do we go from here? Well, we keep on sucking on a thumb. I can't wait to click on a Taylor Swift face. I'm so ready.
Good for the public, and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook over and over again chose to optimize for its own interests, like making more money.
At first,
there's times when you do that, but often enough, well, it's bullshit, right? What is your interest? Making money? Is that your interest? Survival is an important interest, but past survival, pretty much anything goes, and you just have to allow as many things to go as possible, to move and crawl and multiply and just create an ecosystem that allows that to happen. Alright, as much movement as possible. That should be your interest next. Past survival is kind of like allowance. Or I don't know, ecosystem building, I don't know. I just like allowance. Or freedom. Survival and then freedom is your next priority. Freedom for, technically for yourself first, but then you realize, okay, I like survival, so I will let other people survive too, because they're a part of this ecosystem, and you have to care about that too. And then you care about freedom for yourself to do whatever you want on the platform, and then you care about other people's freedom to see what they're still capable of doing while you have all this freedom and power, technically, right? Is there space for them left? Or maybe they want to take a little bit of space, rightfully so, not because they're greedy, because they can handle it a lot better than you can, and you'll appreciate that. All these sort of things are very fascinating, but in the light, people are very, very blind. They think they can do whatever the fuck they want without following principles. Are blind enough to not follow basic principles or learn them. So the idea is that because a lot of opportunities are available to you, or you think they are, if people are not talking with each other, there's no opportunities. They're just scammers that you do not trust. There's a bunch of strangers that you do not trust. Alright? People are trying to establish trust on TikTok, and TikTok is actually capable of cycling through people, so everyone is investing into building trust, but they will realize soon enough it's pointless because they're being switched off by another person constantly. If they become successful or if they feel successful, they then just perpetuate the same thing, the same meme. But eventually people just will get bored very quickly because these are very short videos and you can only present a single meme, a single style of video. It's not going to stick around because there's another group of people that will give you things and will be trustworthy and they will just move on with their lives. A lot of people just contributing things into TikTok, and I will always keep the fuzz going every single month. I'll sit down and for like 3 hours? Was it 3 hours? It's kind of crazy, bro. I will sit down for 3 hours if I have to. I still can't believe that. So the fuss was 3 hours. And Sniper Wolf is fired. Fascinating stuff. See, the funny thing is, when the first night hits, when the first blackout is tested, because we're gonna test blackouts before it actually happens, obviously. We can't make people panic too hard. We gotta give them the taste. Somewhere, somehow. Whatever. I don't think it's gonna be worldwide, right? Once people try talking, they will realize. Alright, what will they realize? How pathetic and skillless. Do I have to use 3 L's? No, that doesn't exist even. Fuck. And the people they want to talk are too. Even the people they want to talk are pathetic and skillless. And it's just when the first night hits, like you get to see the babies cry immediately. The mature people versus babies, you see the difference now. In that case, you finally get to see the difference. It's so fascinating. One thing you might notice, which is fascinating. Okay, I still got the chain going. So you can start sensing an investment opportunity. But what is this? Because a lot of things will be paywalled. Except slowly you'll pay with effort too. Right? With enough effort, you'll be able to access things you kind of want. With paying, you will obviously be able to access some exclusive content. That is pretty much how everything works in gaming. But one thing you don't understand about social media, just like what Elon Musk, the first thing he did is gamified Twitter a little bit and allowed anyone to have verified badge. That's cool, but you don't understand what it means. Once social media are controlled by game devs, which is kind of inevitable. The paywalls will rise. Again, you will be able to pay with your effort, and that's fine. So the best investment is not necessarily to buy up a lot of things because they will rise in value because there's a paywall around them. That's not going to happen. The things that you will be able to claim, technically not going to have that much value unless you figure out how to make them valuable. All right, is the very exclusive and edge technology that's going to get paywalled. The stuff that has been around and pretty much everyone has will slowly decay, obviously, but you will still have them. All right, all the applications, no one is going to take that away from you. We don't have to. We just have to move forward and put an enormous wall behind where if you don't know how to earn money or put effort properly, not destructive or scammy effort, that's, the test of morality. If you can't do that shit, you're useless. You can't have this, okay? You can't have all these nice things because you're just gonna ruin it for everyone else. I'm sorry, bro. And unfortunately, it's not as simple as put a paywall and ask people to pay money, and all of a sudden, the people who do pay money are moral people. That's not it. You have to mix this thing up properly. Because you don't know where that money came from. So you have to ask questions. And you also don't know if the effort that they input is monetizable, is valuable to the community. So you have to evaluate that shit somehow. So you have to analyze it and evaluate both of these things that go through the wall. Even if it goes through the wall, you have to figure out if it's legit, if it's not a scam. So this is literally just an anti-scam wall, the entire purpose. So there's probably some backdoors somewhere too, but, I'm not going to talk about it because it's too complicated. Basically, the whole wall system is simply to filter out all the scammers that would, dilute the communities, the society. We don't need them, as I've said. There's a lot of people just need to be filtered out. And that's the best way to do it. And once we filter them out, there's really no problems all of a sudden. The exclusive content, some like porn that people stay away from to some extent and don't really need. I mean, it will create its own ecosystem, will exist in its own ways, and will extract values that it deserves. If it is exclusive, if people don't want to touch it, normal people don't want to touch it, it becomes exclusive. All right, it becomes something that society doesn't want to talk about and focus about. So why should you care? All right, unless you have nothing else to do in society. All right, right now that's the case most of the time. Society doesn't fucking exist. All right. Society and social media still doesn't exist. So do whatever and explore far and wide. Because there's no walls, because there's so many things to do, figure out what is possible. Even I probably don't know all the opportunities out there, so figure that shit out and report to me, because I collect this stuff. Okay? It would be helpful. That would be fascinating, right? Anyways, still, I'm stacking my content and YouTube ignores me. Everyone ignores me, dude. The algorithm and beyond is ignoring me. That I'm putting effort. And it breaks me as well. Alright? Not only I voice concerns and I care about withers away. But, you know, when I stack value upon value that can actually help, people don't find it important. And then it's like, well, the only reason that is the case is because you've never been challenged. It's because people live very easy lives and don't have to worry about bullshit that would just slowly start consuming them. Because now, if the bullshit doesn't have to disappear when you touch it, it becomes just straight up evil, you know. It attaches to you. You know, the things that used to be attractive will attract themselves to you. They have to find you now. The opposite happens at nighttime. Alright, all the bugs are starting to flood your fucking room all of a sudden. Instead of you trying to catch bugs outside. Oh wait, no one does that. So it's a terrible analogy. No, the idea is, so you see shiny things, but once they're no longer shiny, like they have to present themselves to you and be like, oh look, I was shiny, remember that? Remember me, the shiny thing? I'm right here. They have to be humble enough to figure out another way to scam people, but it's so fucking difficult to scam people when you get too close. It is so incredibly difficult. Because a moral person will now be able to actually use the scam against itself, will actually be able to extract value from the scam and just make the scammer feel like, wait, I just gave that to him for free, basically? How do I perform my scams? Like, it's impossible all of a sudden. So once nighttime hits, most scams will simply be impossible due to lack of distance. Alright, you can't just run away and keep shining things. Keep promising things. That's the most important thing. Alright? The most powerful thing that people are scammed with are promises of something. No, at nighttime you will need it right now. You either have it or you don't have it. I live at nighttime all the time, so fuck it. I understand what I'm talking about. I just want nighttime to be everywhere, because everyone else, you know, acts a little bit differently than I do. You know, I live in shadows. I live in nighttime all the time. Alright? For me, it's not going to be a fucking difference when the blackout happens. I'm way too comfortable with this shit. And I understand the value of toxicity and all those little thingies that you think are ugly and uncool. Nah, bro. You will find the value, but in a very terrifying way. Alright? In the dark, the people who lived in darkness are gonna be the popular kids now. Alright, we're gonna be the popular kids. Fuck yeah, bro. Imagine that. But I will take my opportunity and I will try and save some popular kids and maybe establish a normal life with them. Because that's the best trade that could possibly happen, right? I just settle down and pretend that my life as a shadow person is over because, just like the pendulum swings, it's going to be daytime again, and I will suffer again, just like I am suffering right now for no particular reason, just because I happen to be in the shadows right now. It's not particularly a choice that I've made, and no, I just accidentally got cut off from society. If I remain moral, it's going to be fine. I will have my special opportunity, which I'm waiting for right now and I'm identifying right now. So, I can't wait to be a popular kid, but instead of staying that way, I will try to escape such identity. Fuck it, man. Please? Alright. I don't want to stay a popular kid just because I've learned how to fucking deal with darkness. You can handle whatever identity I leave behind. There's gonna be plenty of resources anyways for people to dig into. I'm not gonna declare myself dead. It's just, leave a lot of things behind and move on with my life. Because a lot of people I care about that are right now popular kids gonna be struggling really fucking hard and won't know what to do. So we'll just swoop in, take them for a ride, and together we become normal people all of a sudden. Just a bunch of normal people that nobody wants to care about anymore. People cared, but now we're just normal. That is my plan. Alright? I can't wait. They're gonna be normal, because right now they're being normalized. Nobody's becoming popular anymore. The old school popular kids remain old school popular kids. It's very difficult to change that. But, whenever someone becomes popular right now, fresh and new, it will still outshadow the old school popular kids. But even crazier thing will happen again when the shadows hit. Now nobody wants to be popular. Because now they have to deal with problems. At nighttime, being popular only gives you problems. Because no one can save each other anymore. No one can protect each other anymore. No one can see each other anymore. So, you don't want problems. You don't want to be popular anymore. You want to kind of have power to control that stuff. Whenever you feel like you can handle popularity, you take a little bit of that, and you're satisfied, you move on with your life. That's how I operate. It's just very simple. I just need a little bit more than I currently have. Just a little bit more. I'm constantly hungry in the shadows. And it's just very simple. And people are not willing to give up even just a fucking bite, man. Just to help me survive. Nah, bro. You can fucking die in that darkness. Regardless how many problems you solve, how many things are you willing to save in the future if something bad happens? Nah, bro. Just wait for that thing to happen. Oh, okay. But I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna scare a lot more people. Alright? So you guys know what you're missing out on. Just to be sure. Make more predictions, make more problems. Don't rely on the past to tell you what to do. Don't pretend that, this looks so different from what used to happen in the past. Because it kind of has to look different and unpredictable until you have enough knowledge, and then you can predict almost everything that really matters. I can't possibly predict irrelevant things, but the things that truly matter, they kind of want to be predictable. They want to happen eventually. They're just waiting in line. You can talk to them, basically. It's kind of funny. Predicting the future is simply about talking to the entities who are waiting in line. You know, they're waiting to happen. They want to talk to you. You just have to have enough knowledge to approach them and have a meaningful conversation. But they're just, there waiting in line. Once you appreciate the stuff that is happening right now, the stuff that people are cunning to build, but they don't have quite enough resources, so they're still like waiting in line to some extent. Once you understand those things, you will know what the future looks like. It's just that simple. So all this stuff is like absolutely fascinating. We're running out of time. We have to fucking grab Taylor's hand, see what she was up to with her blackout phase, basically. What are we talking about, bro? Are you trying to... We just scooped like 2 minutes. This is crazy how triggering this thing is. Like, tripping. I'm fucking tripping balls, man. All the time. Every time, all the time. Because I'm getting closer to my goal, and this is it. This is basically it. I have it. The ultimate person I wanted to talk in line with, who's gonna bring the ultimate future, the ultimate entities, that light switch thingy. Alright. I talked to the light switch, and it's angry. I don't know. There's gonna be a meme about it, probably.
A giant.
Another thing, I just look at these guys. I know everyone is trying to look as clean as possible because they have to present information in a clean way. Everything is like that. It's trying to look clean. But when AI strikes, everyone's identity will be fake eventually. You want it or not, it's going to be fake. The nighttime will come just naturally, just because a lot of things, even more things are going to be fake and bullshit technically, and you won't know where to go and what to do. So we have to prepare ourselves for the natural night technically, and what to do with it. And with nighttime comes sleeping as well. Not sleeping paralysis demons. Fuck that shit. I guess those two. But, sleep paralysis. Yeah. So, no, but like, yeah, this is interesting, isn't it? People will be able to, like, express themselves, but because they're immoral, they will just turn into fucking demons and ugly creatures. They will think that they're looking cool and sexy, but, we're gonna be using a lot of filters, let's put it that way. Once we settle down on which ones to use. Because, that's what happened already. There's this voice filter. You can change your voice. And it's the ugliest and the most annoying thing. And people don't feel bothered with using it. Some kind of snorky fucking voice. Like, I don't even want to fucking hear it, okay? I don't want to give it to you. If you watch TikTok, you know this voice filter, and it's universally fucking garbage. It's just people don't care. They just show their lack of care that, like, oh, this sucks, but, like, I'll use it because it's cool. So AI will have the same exact effect. Like, people will do crazy things just because it's cool, just because they can mask their identity. They don't have to reveal their face anymore. They don't have to look clean anymore. It will save a lot of time, but you have to remain moral in your self-expression. You can't just look like a demon and say that you're gay. It's like a very cool combination of things that I actually bumped into. Like, for fuck's sake, man.
For safety.
Angry content and misinformation has to be filtered out. No, or allowed actually on the platform. the opposite what I said. Why didn't I heard of that? I would have used the shit out of Facebook if I was able to be angry all over the place. Oh wow. And increase my engagement. How did that not happen? Also, why is it not happening anywhere else either? Why am I not triggering conversations upon conversations? It's not happening. Sometimes something happens that kind of looks like that and potentially, spikes Facebook's data as well. It's like, whoa, that's how you do it. You create a lot of anger and misinformation. That's how you get content. Or engagement, rather. Because everyone's burning something. Something's burning. So you need to create a forest fire. That's a spike in the data for sure. You have to evaluate things. You can't just take it for face value or whatever. But it's Facebook, so it will take for face value. Whatever.
To Mark Zuckerberg. More
own research has said that it amplifies hate, misinformation and political unrest, but that the company is hiding what it knows.
It's hard in my lifetime to think of a company more out of control, and one person, Mark Zuckerberg.
Not really. Everything isn't out of control if you don't copy and paste it. If you don't dilute it to different places, just give the source code, All you have to do to fix a broken monopoly is to take away the source code. Alright. If we just decide that something is immoral, something is a broken monopoly, something steals a lot of people's attention and doesn't actually work properly, something like Hearthstone, I think it's the best example of a broken monopoly. I think TikTok is an example of a functioning monopoly. Is it broken? It has its own values. I just don't use it that often. Okay, I'm not just diving into that. It just exists in a parallel. As powerful as Hearthstone, I am involved in Hearthstone a lot. I like card games. Okay, it's very influential to me. But it's broken. But it has the same amount of influence. But I hate it. Alright, and I love TikTok. There's a difference. Alright? I want Hearthstone to fall. But it's gonna keep on competing. Hearthstone is actually ahead in points right now. You wanna see it? Here's TikTok 229 and Hearthstone 243. Way ahead. 1,000. No. Yeah, 1,000 points ahead. Above 1,000 points. 1,400. That's a big deal. That's a big gap now. Even though they were equal. And it's still an operating broken monopoly. There's always going to be value in a broken monopoly, but it's very likely stealing a lot of value, stealing more value from the things that still deserve attention and care. And we have to talk about those things as well. Alright, not just because they're popular. That's when you talk about things where they're not popular enough, when they're obscure, and unreasonably so. You have to save those things. I'm glad I can be a part of this community and all that shit as well. So I'm keeping an eye out on this, community. I'm talking about this Runeverse thing that I discovered and I appreciate as well. I don't get appreciation back. That hurts. But I just move on with my life as if that's a normal thing to happen all the time. Anyways, moving on. We finished that video. Again, that's the way you fix a broken monopoly. You have to give the source code. It's not that difficult. Alright. To other people. Oh wait, it is pretty difficult because you have to pay for servers and all that shit. Well, someone is capable of affording the source code of Facebook and want it really badly. And it's a broken monopoly anyways, so fuck it. I mean, at least give us outdated source code. I don't care. If you don't want to reveal how your newest features work, that's fine. But give us something. Because you're a broken piece of shit and we have to shut you down as well. So you can see there's a lot of immoral companies with power that have to be shut down. Just like that. Using this simple fix. Is there other... Well, the way to retrieve a source code, there's multiple ways to do it. You can just take it away. You can try and mimic. But if you can't mimic fast enough, then it's not good enough either. Right now with AI, probably AI is going to be able to solve this problem as well. Being able to mimic most of the features that a website has. And give us idea of how to set up some cheap servers and all that stuff. And eventually we're going to be able to outsource most of the websites that are just dominating in a terrible way. If we don't like them, we'll be able to outcompete them. Just that easy. Alright? Capitalism is corrupted if you are not capable of competing easily enough. Let's move on. And that just fixes, the capitalistic problem. Like, they hold a monopoly, they hold the shop. The only shop in town. They can raise prices, they can manipulate what is being sold to you. All these little tiny things to maximize their influence or profits or whatever they feel like.
Tag TS6 is coming. So while some...
Yeah, it's just a teaser to reputation stuff. Which now, because of this vibe, like, she just entangled herself into another fucking mesmerizing concept, I would say. I mean, I just want to know what actually happened. Can I get that?
Million followers.
What the fuck are you doing, bro? Social experiments, Mr. Beast style? Is that what's going on, bro? She always... 10,000! We can celebrate 10,000 by listening to her reputation stuff. Or we have to pick a song. I think Endgame is the coolest song ever. In that case. But Ready For It is a very nice competitor. I don't know which one to pick, man. So we have to pick something new. King of My Heart. I hope it's good enough. I think I listened to all of them, I just don't know why it doesn't have the red stripey thing. New Year's Day, too. This is why we can't have night. It's like fucking crazy, right? Her awareness on this shit. Every single song, even the title itself is just fucking so provocative. How did she find all these vibes? How was she able to express them? Like, that's a fucking moral person right there. going through things in life. I mean, if she gets in trouble, well, I will call her.
I wanna be your end game. I wanna be your first string. I wanna
Bam.
be your 18.
Happy 10,000, Taylor.
End game, end game. I've been waiting for king of my heart.
Yeah, I love this part. I just realized how fucking phased out I am about like reaching 10,000 when it used to be like the event. But then Taylor Swift made it magical instead of like I blacked out. And Taylor's like, I'll control it for you. I'll fucking do it for you. I just realized how fucking big of a deal this shit is. I'm like, oh, there's 4 zeros now. Wait, what? Fuck you, Taylor. You little piece of shit. Oh my god, man. Every single time there's something stupid happens with Taylor. And I can't believe it sometimes. What is happening, bro? Queen of my heart. How is she able to control this stuff? I'm telling you, I didn't plan this shit whatsoever. I just knew it was happening. Like, oh, she's gonna hit another 1,000, and it's just blacked out for me that it's 10,000. It's important. It really did. What? Look at this shit. All right, 10,000. I celebrate every single one. Ariana, Selena, TikTok, myself, Hearthstone, and Taylor's just, I'll have myself a crown. Oh my god. That is hilarious. I'm so sorry. Whoops. Whoops. Well, at least you know how to apologize now. In case you get in the same trouble, and you realize some very weird entities have been controlling your life. How does she do that? Is my question. What? Reputation album hits 10,000? We talking about a blackout? She does the blackout? Shut the fuck up. Alright. I'm telling you, every single time something stupid happens, if Taylor is involved. Every single time. Do not have her anywhere near, because stupid things will happen. If you have enough awareness for them, I guess. I don't know, bro. What the fuck? Well, see you guys next time.